What's going on, guys? This is Joe Young. Today we are going to give you guys an update on the Planet Reef tank. Alright, so first off, you're probably wondering what's up with two different lights and what am I doing in this reef tank? Well, I apologize. First off, the tank is kind of in a standstill right now. I am trying to come up with an idea on how I want to rescape the tank. Another project that I'm doing for this tank, it's probably going to be a couple months down the road, but I want to do something different for this tank. Still going to be Planet. It might be a little secret, so you'll see probably in the near future here. So the first thing you probably noticed is I have two different lights. I was rocking the current satellite LED in this tank. Don't get me wrong, that LED was working really fine. The reason why I am testing these two different lights out, one, I'm really mainly testing this new Radion out. This is the XR30 Pro, the Gen 4 version. So this is a brand newest and greatest, I guess, LED to the Ecotech line there. And really, I wanted to see the functions, how it behaves, how it works, I guess, with corals, with plants. And this is a little biased in terms of comparison right now, because right now this is an ADA, so for my Planet tank. I had a spare one just laying around, so I just threw it on here. So the current satellite would normally just take this whole thing. I had this testing only on half of it, so I needed another one that would cover this other half. So I just threw in my ADA light on that side, and as you can see, this is already was filled before I even tossed it in there. So that side is just completely planted, like just to the max. And it's growing even better because, this light spectrum is designed for Planet. Now on the left side, the main reason why I'm testing even this light on the left side was, one, if you notice on my other previous video, the left side for whatever reason in my tank seemed to do, I guess, poorly, or I guess worse, versus the right side, even though it was getting the same light across, the whole tank. So I wanted to test this LED because this LED has more blues in it, and I'm kind of wanting to see if these dragon breaths would react a little bit differently. Certain corals and certain plants may react differently because maybe they do need more blue light spectrums versus just the red, greens, and the other side of the spectrum that's only on the Planet tank side. So far, this LED is sick. I really like it. I really like all the options that comes with it. I did have to buy the Reef link so that I can kind of program it on my phone, set it up online, and it's on literally its own timer. I don't even have to plug it into a timer. It's all automatic. It's pretty sick. All right, so first off, let's talk about the livestock. So there is a lightning maroon clownfish in this breeder net. I just had to separate them because they were always attacking each other. Right now, I could probably end up putting them out and about because it's pretty planted, and I'm pretty sure he can get away and just run. But didn't want to risk it, so I ended up putting them in there because they're fighting each other. The maroon clownfish are one of the most aggressive clownfish, I guess, in the reef hobby or in the saltwater hobby. Knowing that, I took a chance when I kind of introduced multiple ones in there. So right now, that's the boss right there. That is the new boss for the lightning maroon clownfish. He is just literally chilling and just looking phenomenal. So on the right side, there's not much to see here other than just a bunch of macroalgae. It's literally covered. I kind of want to escape it back, like I said. Probably redo it sometime down the road. And I do have some other stuff floating up here. This is some turtle grass that I had recently bought. I don't have space for it. As you can see, there's like just junk just everywhere. So eventually I will use those and plant those maybe down the road. All right, so let's talk about the left side because you can actually see the left side. So on the left side, I've been trying to regrow my dragon's breath for the longest time. I had a bunch in my previous nano tank, and it grew really well because it was like really high, close to the light. And this tank is pretty shallow, so I expected it to grow and bounce back pretty fast. But what happened was I don't know, like it just didn't grow really well in these conditions. So that's why I threw this new LED in here, because I'm thinking that it's missing the blue component in terms of the LED spectrum that corals need in reef. And I'm assuming that this macroalgae is also needing that blue spectrum. So some of the macroalgae from the right side has kind of like carried over here to the left. Like I said, I'll probably eventually clean that up and just make it a little bit better. The maidenhair grass is like growing back, dying, growing back. It like has these phases every week, so I don't know how to even propagate those guys or even how to keep those guys like specifically long term like alive. I don't know if you can see here, but these little short grass looking plants here, those are new. I just recently got those. I threw them on here. I'll see how they propagate or how they do. I also got some short grass, but it's like this long stem here, or like a little grass blade here in the back. I just threw it down there just for fun to see how that would do. I have more in the sump, which is just kind of floating. Again, I'm going to probably kind of redo some of this tank here in the near future to see how I can integrate some of these new plants into the tank. I don't really have much coral in here, but sadly the green star polyp just like randomly died off. I had that going in the left corner over here. I moved it over here, and I think because I moved it over here, it got blocked in terms of all this light, got blocked from all the macroalgae. It literally did not get any like light, and it eventually slowly died. I could have moved it, but I was trying to experiment with some other corals up here that didn't really do well or didn't pan out. Not with this LED, it was with the original Planet Tank LED, and it just didn't work out for me. So that's another reason why I'm trying this LED, just to see how the corals react. The coral over here is my OG. This is actually one of my first corals, and this is the hammer, that was in my previous reef tank and is still thriving. That coral is a beast. The other coral that is like the second OG is this guy here. He's still thriving, beasting it out. Love it. So on the sump here, the clownfish are doing really well. They're just swimming about. I have a bunch of the new plants and new grass plants just kind of floating here for now. Again, trying to figure out what I want to do. Some different changes. More macroalgae. This is not dragon's breath. This is the other, I forget what it's called, the other red version of the macroalgae that's a little bit easier to grow than the dragon's breath. And I have a bunch of, you know, mushrooms and stuff like this in the back here. But the clownfish in here seems to enjoy kind of like the plants and kind of wiggle around and play with those. So yeah, so that's a quick update on the Nano Reef tank. In the near future here, you'll see a lot of change with this tank, and especially me testing out this LED here. I'll probably get a couple more of these guys to do something crazy. Alright guys, until next time guys, peace.